Oh, what is up, everyone? And it is good to be back. I know you guys have seen some content on this channel in the past few days, but to be honest, I recorded a lot of that content beforehand because I had a business trip that I was taking care of for pretty much half the week. So it's good to be back at home recording content for you guys and to catch up on all of the latest information, because there was a ton of stuff that went down while I was gone. There was Super Mario iOS runner game thingy from Shigeru Miyamoto on Apple, what was it, the iPhone, and on the iPad, and on the iWatch, and on the everything. There was just the PS4 Pro. There was just so many cool things happening while I was gone on business. When I was gone on business. So I am back and I am ready to discuss these things in a brand new PlayerEssence cross Nintendo. And today the main topic for this video is going to be PS4 Pro versus the Nintendo NX. I want to talk about this PlayStation 4 Pro, even though this is PlayerEssence cross Nintendo. This is going to be a competing system to the Nintendo NX, in addition to the PlayStation 4 Slim and the Xbox Scorpio. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff coming to the video game industry in the next year or so. So buckle up, strap in, and let's go ahead and get into this, because I'm really excited about all this content coming. So I want to briefly talk about this new Super Mario Run game coming out. So it's coming to the iOS, it's coming to not Android, but just iOS this December, and you're basically going to be tapping Mario to run all over the place. 2D style. It pretty much looks like new Super Mario Bros. I think it's literally the same engine, and they just like ported it over to iOS just to save money. And you're just running around tapping, collecting coins, and you know, there's been some pushback from hardcore gamers, but you guys have to understand that the hardcore gamers complaining and whining about this. This is not for you. I don't care if this game is super challenging or not. That's not the point. The point of the game is to just increase the visibility of Nintendo's IP Mario and to make a crap ton of money, and to get more of the casual fan base and people that Nintendo have lost over the multiple years of bad decisions that they've made to play Mario. But the biggest thing is to make money. The biggest thing is to make money. I don't care how hard it is. I don't care what it does. This is honestly not for us. So I hear hardcore gamers complaining. Go play New Super Mario Bros. Go play all the other New Super Mario Bros. Games that have been out since what, 2000? What was that? Since that came out, 2009 or whatever, when the original New Super Mario Bros. Came out. Go play all the other games that have been out there. First we were complaining that there was too many New Super Mario Bros. Games. Then you have people complaining that New Super Mario Bros. Is coming to something else, and it's not hard enough. Like, just geez, guys, chill. Like, the fact that Shigeru Miyamoto has to come on and say, "Oh well, don't worry, it's going to be hard." Like, who gives a crap? It's for visibility. It's for money. To make a lot of money, and it's to get more people over to their dedicated systems, and hopefully some people that see, you know, new Super Mario Bros. Run or Super Mario Run on the iOS, they'll be like, okay, let me check out the Nintendo NX, because there's probably going to be advertising built into there. And look at what Pokemon Go has done for Pokemon Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, Pokemon X and Y sales. Sales have been boosted tremendously across the world because of Pokemon Go, even though that game's not for the core of core gamers either. So it's a good thing, guys. Stop complaining about that type of stuff, because I honestly think it's just frustrating. It's a little frustrating when Nintendo tells you what their intentions are and people still can't see through it past their hardcore gamer mindset. So for me, I don't give a crap about Super Mario Run. Will I download it? Probably, but when it comes to Android, because I don't have any type of iDevices and I'm not going to buy one just for this. It's going to come out on Android in 2017. It's going to come out iOS in 2016. So we're just going to have to wait and see how everything works out, but I think it'll be okay. The runner games are all fine. All of them are okay. So don't expect like, oh my gosh, this is just going to be an amazing 3D Mario experience, because it's not. Or going to be an amazing 2D Mario experience, because I don't think it's going to be that either. So we just have to wait and see. We just have to wait and see on that one. But let's go to get into the meat and potatoes here, guys. Which there's a ton of stuff to talk about, and trust me, I'm gonna have multiple videos over the next couple days to catch up on everything. But we got to talk about PS4 Pro versus Nintendo NX. But let's first talk about PS4 Pro and what it can do, what the official specs are, and everything like that. Now, there's a spec sheet below here, but I'm not so sure about it, but it is an official spec sheet according to Sony. So here's the thing, guys. PS4 Pro is coming out on November 10th for $399. What it's going to do as far as the PS4 Pro, it's going to deliver improved processing capabilities and support for 4K quality images by boosting the performance and capabilities of the architectural through CPU and GPU. The platform allows games to render far more detail and visual precision. You're going to need a 4K TV to really take advantage of that, and Sony is saying at least 60 inches to really see that difference in certain games that support PlayStation 4 Pro. But Sony wants to be clear. They want to be crystal clear about PS4 Pro and PS4 Slim, which is $299, which they just revealed. They copyright strike my channel for talking about something that was real. But anyway, that's a whole other thing. But the PS4 Slim, that is $299. It's going to be able to play all of the games that PS4 Pro can play. PS4 Pro, PS4 Slim, they are essentially the same family of consoles. Both games or both systems are going to have the same games that can play across both of them. There is not going to be PS4 Pro exclusive games where, oh, this game is only going to come out on PS4 Pro at this point. All right, so that's just something that everyone needs to understand. They're a unified platform. PlayStation 4 games will work across both of them. So here are some of the confirmed games to work on the PlayStation 4 Pro: Call of Duty Black Ops 3, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Days Gone, Deus Ex Mankind Divided, The Elder Scrolls Online, Farpoint, FIFA 16, Final Fantasy 15, For Honor, Horizon Zero Dawn, Infamous First Light, Killing Floor 2, The Last of Us Remastered, Mass Effect Andromeda, Middle Earth Shadow of Mordor, Paragon, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Spider-Man, Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, Watch Dogs 2, and The Witness. Now, here's the thing, guys. There are patches for other games in the works that will take advantage of the PS4 Pro. But another thing that you have to remember, there are going to be some games that have increased frame rates and visual capabilities, but the increased frame rates and stuff are all going to be capped online in order to not give an unfair advantage to people who have a PS4 Pro compared to people who have a regular PS4. So if a game is 30 frames per second normally online, but somehow it's a little bit increased frame rates on PS4 Pro, it will be capped at 30 at the same in order to give the same and level playing field. I saw some people a little upset about that, but I don't know why you would be upset about that, because you do not want people to have an unfair advantage because they have a more powerful system. I don't think that's necessarily the best thing to do. Now, I don't think it works like that for PC games, but at the same time, I think there's definitely a way as far as minimum and maximum recommendations and things like that to where it is somewhat even across the board. So don't quote me on all of that, but I don't think that it's a good thing if you have unfair advantages as far as frame rates and stuff like that goes for online gameplay. So most of the games anyway from PS4 Pro are not going to have increased frame rates to where it even matter. Like Call of Duty is always like a 60 frames per second game. On PS4 regular, it's going to be 60 frames per second on PS4 Pro. So I don't think it's going to affect many games in that regards. All right. So the specs for PS4 Pro, it's going to have the memory. Or actually, let's go over the main processor first. So the main processor, single chip custom processor, CPU x86-64, AMD Jaguar 8 cores. So this thing about this, guys, that some people are laughing about or making fun is that, oh, well, why doesn't the PS4 Pro dramatically increase frame rates of games, or why can't you have the option? Guys, it's still using the same CPU. It's still using literally the same CPU that it used with the regular PlayStation 4. So there's going to be some bottlenecks there. You can't just max everything out. It's not just going to be like that, guys. There's going to be some bottlenecks compared to things just so games can still run across both of them. Because remember, there's not going to be PS4 Pro exclusive games. So the GPU is 4.2 teraflops, AMD Radeon-based graphics engine, memory GDDR5, 8 gigabytes. Storage size will be 1 terabyte as the default for it. There's a bunch of other stuff. It has Ethernet, power consumption, all that stuff. You can check that out in the description below. HDMI supports 4K/HDR, digital out, optical port. Still has that optical port for you old school folks like myself that like that optical port. Although one thing, guys, it does not support Blu-ray, like 4K playback discs and stuff like that. So people were also getting a little crazy about that. It looks cool. It looks cool and everything, but like I've said a million times, I'm not gonna buy this thing, and you'll know more after I talk about the Nintendo NX and everything that's come up. So comparing the two, because I know a lot of people, I've seen videos from people comparing PS Vita 2, which isn't even really a real thing at this point, or the next codename PlayStation Portable to Nintendo NX. People have compared PS Vita to Nintendo NX. People have compared all sorts of different types of mobile devices and things. But really, to me, what I feel the Nintendo NX is definitely going to be is a home console. It could have a mobile aspect to it, could have another portable thing that hooks up to it, could have a whole separate thing, but mainly the main competition going forward in the future definitely going to be the PlayStation 4 Pro versus Nintendo NX versus the Scorpio when that comes out in the future. And what I think is going to happen with the Nintendo NX is I think Nintendo NX is going to be a capable system. Do I think it's going to match what the PlayStation 4 Pro can do per se on a blow for blow basis? No, I don't think it's going to be quite there. I think it's going to be close, but I don't think it's going to be quite there. But I do think that the Nintendo NX is going to be able to definitely output some amazing games. I think Nintendo's really going to shoot for a 1080p 60 frames per second lock on all of their games, and which would be cool. And I think that they're going to try to do the whole video playback Netflix 4K, but I don't think it's going to be something that's standard, just because even with this PlayStation 4 Pro, even this thing can't do native 4K. It can't do native 4K. It just like upscales it for the most part. So checkerboard, I think that's the term that's been thrown out there. So even this isn't native 4K. So I don't think the Nintendo NX will do that as far as video games. Maybe 4K playback through streaming or something like that. But I don't think it's going to do native 4K. But what about the 1080p 60 frames per second? And I think that's where the Nintendo NX is going to have a clear advantage when it comes to certain things. Because as you can see, many of the games on the PlayStation 4 Pro necessarily aren't going to be running on 60 frames per second if it's not like that on the regular PS4. So outside of like the Call of Duties and some stuff like that, like Infamous First Light or anything like that, it's not going to be. I don't think it's going to really upscale all the way to 60 frames per second, or not upscale, but I don't think it's going to raise the frame rates all the way up to 60 frames per second. I mean, it might maybe get a little close to that because I know Infamous does not have a capped frame rate. Sometimes it's running above 30. But I think what you're going to see on Nintendo NX is you're going to see Nintendo really aim and lock down that 1080p 60. So when you get your games out, there's going to be a ton of 1080p 60 first party games. Nintendo did a little bit of that with some of their games, but a lot of the games that they did do that with were more of the, not I wouldn't say basic graphics, but just games that, yeah, like 2D stuff like New Super Mario Bros. Yeah, that's 1080p 60. You have stuff like Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, that's 1080p 60. You have certain games that can do that just because potentially they're like 2D. They're definitely not the big 3D type of environment, stuff like that. Whereas on Wii U, you got New Super Mario Bros. Super Mario 3D World, and that game was 720p 60. And you have Mario Kart 720p 60. So I think Nintendo is really going to aim for that next level up. Now, what we've heard, if you've watched SuperMetaldAve's videos, he really thinks that the PlayStation 4 Pro and that announcement with AMD, that this is the second gaming design win. He really feels that Nintendo NX is locked in for that third gaming design win, custom design win. I'll have a link to the video or his video in the description below. But overall, I do think that it's going to be a really nice competition, just between two friendly competition as far as selling games, selling consoles. the features. Nintendo is probably stressing out about this whole thing, and the reason why I think Nintendo is stressing out, because they have so much work to do. This is really a relaunching of their brand. Let's be honest here, guys. Nintendo went through a decade of Wii U, and it just didn't work out the way that they wanted it to work out. It just didn't. It ended miserably for the Wii brand because of multiple mistakes Nintendo made with the Wii U. This is a full relaunching. This is something that they have to get out in multiple different languages. This is something that's going to be rolled out pretty much worldwide. This is going to be insane for Nintendo, and they really need to make sure that they deliver. And that's the main reason why I simply just don't believe these crappy Eurogamer reports and these crappy reports of this dinky device, because this device, as far as what they're saying, is not something that's going to create an impact immediately, and not something that Nintendo is just going to wait to show off this long for something that crappy and borrowing ideas from Wii and Wii U as the main gimmicks or hooks. I'm sorry, but you do not wait this long to show something that crappy. We'll see on that, but I just don't believe they'd be waiting this long if it was something, you know, that type of idea that's been there, done that for the most part. So we're gonna have to wait and see on it, but I do think that the Nintendo NX is going to stack up nicely when it all comes down to it, and we finally get to see this. Now, we've had reports saying that we're gonna see it in October, early October. There's also reports that it's going to be a September reveal. I'm more leaning towards the September reveal. This PlayStation 4 Pro is coming out November 10th. So I think it'll be good if Nintendo went ahead and revealed the Nintendo NX late September, mid to late September. Tokyo Game Show is going down next week, starting up. So I really would like to see a reveal, or at least an announcement that they're going to reveal the system next week. So we're going to have to wait and see on that one as well. We're gonna have to wait and see on a lot of different things. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. PlayStation 4 Pro versus Nintendo NX. All the good stuff that's went down. Are you going to be picking up a PlayStation 4 Pro? Are you going to be waiting to see what Nintendo does with the Nintendo NX? Let me know your comments. Let me know your thoughts, all that stuff in the comment section below. Also, make sure you hit that like button if you did like this video. Let me know you guys want more discussion, PlayerEssence cross Nintendos just like this in the future. And also subscribe to PlayerEssence for more news, reviews, trailers, tips and tricks, and everything in gaming. Also, make sure you check out the description below. There you'll have links over to our Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch page. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on all of our social networks, as I'll be having exclusive contests and giveaways just on there. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you for the next video. Peace.